Welcome to the Grief and Media Project. My name is Alex Piscatelli. We are here at Rasputin Music, and this is the show where we interview people about the media that helps them cope with grief. And I'm so excited. This is my first interview for this show, and who better than y'all? This is moreNOISE. They are a radio show at San Francisco State University's KSFS Radio.
Hi, my name is Leslie Castillo. I am the co-host for moreNOISE and also the founder of the moreNOISE universe.
I'm Mason Harder. I do the audio and the Substack write-ups on moreNOISEFM.substack.com.
I'm Issa St. Thomas. I am another co-host of moreNOISE. I am the one-person graphics team behind our show.
Yay. Well, I'm glad y'all took the mic because I'm shaking. Cut that. Okay, so we are here at Rasputin because we're going to be going around talking about the media that helps them cope with grief, that helps all of us cope with grief. But first, we wanted to start with one simple question, although it's a complicated one, right? Mm-hmm. What is your relationship with grief?
The grief that I have experienced the most in my life is like with people that are still alive and very much like thriving. And I tie this grief because I feel like I grieve not only the people that I wasn't able to grasp in my life and have in my life continuously every day, but also I grieve the version of myself that I wish I was for these people.
I'd say that my experience with grief is very much one of forgiveness and also not noticing that it's there in the first place. In my segment, I'll be talking about that I didn't even notice that this album was my number 3 listened to album of all time. So not noticing that I was grieving so hard and also not noticing how much I listened to that album really is a big part of, I guess, how I grieve.
One of my parents had experienced like extreme loss in their youth, and so complex PTSD was present in my household growing up. Like for me, it's been a lot about like areas of transition and change, and how like that kind of automatically comes with grief, and you're grieving kind of similar to what you said, actually, like you're grieving like the life that you have lost for yourself, and the piece of media that I'm talking about, like that's a lot of what I was going through when I was listening to that album a lot.
Lizzie McAlpine's Older. I've got 3D Country, Geese.
Okay, I have Choke Enough by OK Lou.
Is that Keitra?
Keitra for you.
Thank you so much. I will happily accept.
See, I don't know.
I think a big goal for this show is that grief isn't just one thing or what we expect it to be, but it affects so many people in so many different ways. So Grief Literacy 101, that is what we're doing here. But let's start with Leslie and your piece of media that you brought. Okay, so you have it in your hands already, but yes. What is the media that you picked out?
So I picked out Control by SZA. This album, I mostly dug deeper into the song Normal Girl that she had written. Normal Girl, for me, I feel like I've connected to a lot, especially in my experience in college. I think all throughout my life, I've always kind of struggled feeling like I am not good enough for people. So Normal Girl is talking about more of like in a romantic relationship sense, about how she feels like although she's delivering all of these physical things to people that she admires, somehow some of it might come off as a little bit too emotional. And so I really relate to SZA when she created this song, because I'm like, I do wish that the way that I felt was deemed as normal.
That word normal, I think like so many struggle with that feeling of Absolutely. Like, wait, are these emotions I'm feeling normal? Is this the way I act normal? And I think like, I don't know, it's the goal of this project is to like normalize, right, grief and normalize these conversations. And I think like it's that constant battle of what's normal, what's not, even though it all should be considered normal.
Absolutely. And I think the word normal is such a drastic and like crazy definition. Like all sorts of people have different ways of defining the word normal. I don't even know myself what that exactly means for me. Do I actually want to be normal, I guess? You know, I mean, I think the only reason why like this song or the way that I feel about feeling normal is something that seems appealing, I guess, is because in a way, if I am normal, then I will get whatever it is that I'm chasing, whether that is whatever romantic lover I am looking for, or whatever friend that I want, or maybe some relationship that I'm looking for in my parents. The the thing is that there is a goal that I am chasing, and if I were to just be normal, maybe it would work out for me. I always think this all the time. I always struggle with, like, if I was prettier, if I was more intelligent, if I just knew more about music, if I knew more about this artist, or like if I just had a cool car or something, I don't know, something random. Like, I realized that over time, it doesn't matter like what you do or like how pretty you are or how interesting you are or whatever it is. With Normal Girl, I experience what she means so deeply, because all she wants is to just be chill. Like, she just wants to be chill, and like I totally understand that. So I don't know, I think in a way there's like a lyric at the end where she's like, before that you figure that I was just a normal girl, and it's like she wrote this entire beautiful song about her freaking out and like tweaking, basically, about just like this guy that she like really wants to be the perfect person for. And then at the end she's like, I wish you just realized that I was like chill. Like, there's no need to like have this whole thing. Like, I'm just being myself, and like that's it. And I get that 100%.
Yeah.
So
What's the media that helps you cope with grief?
I am going to be looking for Wild Heart by Current Joys.
What is it about this album for you?
This album actually carried me through COVID and my taking down and my rebuilding of my relationship with my mother, who was dying at the time through her second battle with cancer. And I actually have poetry to read that I wrote.
Oh, yay! Oh my god, wait.
About that.
Artist.
I've been cooking, trust. The things were actually happening in early 2021, and I didn't write this until the day after her birthday in 2024, January 20th, 2024 at 2:22 a.m. And it goes, I miss you, Mom. You before the diagnosis, before the chemo, before the steroids, before the remission, before the stem cell transplant. You are a superhero. I just wish you stayed the one you were when I was young. And I wrote that 3 years after everything had already happened. And I think the big rebuilding of the relationship actually happened about a year after that. And I'm very thankful for that, because she's the best.
I know you talked about how this album talks about or feels like coming of age.
Yes.
How does kind of grief play a role, do you think, in your coming of age or what you went through?
It really forced me to forgive and accept, because I'm someone historically who does not do any forgiving ever. So doing that and accepting that what happened between us wasn't because of us, it was because of the conditions put on us, really allowed me to, I guess, come to terms with it and really accept what was going on. And I'm super glad that I've grown in that way, because I would not have done that before at all. A lot of times when you're so close to losing someone for the second time, it's like, is it actually going to happen this time? And thankfully it didn't. So we got to rebuild what we had when she was a superhero when I was young.
What is the media that helps you cope with grief?
Today I'm going to be talking about and looking for Sling by Clairo. I feel like, oh my god, they have, I don't know if you saw, they have every Ariana album over there.
Oh, I already own.
Me too.
Most either on vinyl or CD. So what is it about Sling in particular for you?
I talked earlier about how, for me, a lot of the grief that I've experienced has been through periods of transition and kind of grieving loss of stability, I guess. And for me, it was like my senior year of high school, and I went through a lot. That in the span of a year, I lost my childhood dog. I lost my childhood home and went through like 6 months of housing insecurity. And I went through a really bad friendship breakup. So there was like a lot going on in my life. And I feel like Sling, I've always used music as like a grounding technique. And I feel like Sling, in a pure like sonic sense, did a really good job of kind of like calming my nervous system, like physically. I feel like Clairo is one of those artists for me where it's like every single one of her projects I associate with like a really specific time in my life. And if I didn't already own these 2 CDs, I would be picking them up.
So much of grief is that lack of stability. Like, yeah. I think grief comes when there's some sort of change or some sort of instability, or like the ground just like escapes from under your feet. And I think I love what you said about stability, because I think a lot of that chasing or longing for it is wanting to get over or heal or what have you.
So one of the central themes of Sling is about stability, but it's also about vulnerability and kind of exploring themes that she hadn't previously touched on in her music. For this period of time of music for me, like just what I was listening to in addition to this album was like kind of the first time that I really thought hard about how grief and struggle can be turned into art and turned into something like really like profound and beautiful to experience from like an outside perspective.
Okay, well, thank you all for being involved with the second episode, but first with guests episode of the Grief and Media Project. It couldn't have been anyone else. Like, it had to be.
I mean, why would it be?
Yeah, exactly. Why would it be? If you all want to promote where people can find you all,
Find us on our Instagram at moreNOISE.fm or on our Substack at
moreNOISE.fm.
.substack.com.
that was a collaboration.
And also on TikTok at moreNOISE.fm again.
Woohoo! Thanks, y'all.
I might have earbuds in my pocket right now. I do.
Oh my god, wait, I love this lip gloss.
Oh my gosh,
I have
no,
the Rode
I
one too.
Hold it up.
No, we can't be. This is unsponsored. It's just not gonna work.
Please.
I was on this side last time, and it's not my good side.
Our longest episodes have all been the ones that you've been on. Yeah.
So 4 yappers involved.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do?